Welcome to a special edition of the Referrals podcast. Introducing our new Daily Dose. We've assembled the ultimate crisis response team for your business. Generous leaders from around the globe teaming up to teach, guide, and lead you through this time of isolation and quarantine. Now let's meet your host, Michael J. Maher.
Hey everybody, this is Michael J. Maher with another episode of the Daily Dose, the daily dose of positivity and productivity. We all need a daily dose of positivity and productivity. Can you believe this lineup that we have had with Todd Duncan, Hal Elrod, Nick Santonastasso, Bob Berg, the go-giver himself, and so many luminaries and wonderful, beautiful speakers. We have mixed the positive with the productive so that you can be more successful during the quarantine time. We believe that we have truly assembled the ultimate crisis response team for positivity and productivity, people who deliver the energy every single day. And that is no different today. We are bringing the heat today. We have the Dominator here today, and I cannot wait to introduce him and have Paul Domenech on the show today because he is going to rock your world. He's going to rock your soul. He's going to rock your spirit. I cannot wait for that. So before I do that, I have to do some announcements. First of all, in the comments below, please put your profession and location. You just never know when a referral is going to occur. So make sure people know how to find you. They know what you do. They know where you serve. And guess what? You can do that in the comments below. Now, many of you have expressed interest in Nick Santonastasso's Mind of a Victor program for the youth. And I will tell you, Max Maher is one of his little victors or junior victors. And it is an awesome program. Mindofavictor.com is how you can do that. Also, many of you have checked out Todd Duncan's program, hightrust.com/connect. That is a world-class program by a world-class guy. You've got to go to hightrust.com/connect. Many of you are in 30 mornings. If you're in 30 mornings, put in the comments below 30 mornings, 30 mornings. Can you change your life in 30 mornings? Yes, you can. And people are doing it right now. We do have a big announcement coming out on Friday of this week about 30 mornings. And I'm very, very excited about the potential and the amazing stuff that we got going on there. Thank you to Tony and Jen Scarpero who are teaching that. Also, thank you to Neil Smith and Shalee Davis who are teaching that on the West Coast. Also, yesterday's class with Sandy Creston was sold out. We actually figured out a way to get more than 50 on, which I was very impressed with. We ended up with 78 people in that class, which is outstanding. Well, guess what? You wanted more. So we have a class with Dan Balzer, which is basically the database on steroids class with Dan Balzer. He was on last Friday. It was off the charts. We talked about how to assemble and aggregate 90 plus items of information and how to use that. It almost turned into a class on the Daily Dose, and everybody was clamoring for a class. So database on steroids, if you want to be involved with the database on steroids, just put DB in the comments below, DB, and we will make sure that you are contacted. And I know many of you are watching this on the recording. Still, put DB below, and we will make sure that you are one of the first people in on that class. Also, this week, you are going to your top 100. You're adding 25 every week. We will be at 100 at the end of this week. This is your top 100 people, regardless of referrals, regardless of client. This is just the top 100 people you know in life. You're also doing 25 VIP forms. Angela Givens, I have to give her a huge kudos here and a shout out because she has already printed out her 75 VIPs. She's already accumulated information on 25 of them, and she's got it in a 3-ring binder. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your outcome to the Daily Dose. This is your outcome. This is your ambassador book. This is your top 150 book. And I will tell you, if you just get that out of the Daily Dose and out of this special edition, you win for the rest of your life. Now, tomorrow we have Tony and Jen Scarpero on Own Your Morning, Own Your Day. And we are going to talk about how to develop the ultimate morning ritual. Today is Wear Your Logo Day on Spirit Week. And of course, I'm wearing my logo. And Thursday is Pajama Day. Yes, you will see me in my pajamas tomorrow. And then Tim Brahim on Friday is going to talk. He is an energy and mindset guru. He will blow your mind away. He's an amazing mind like water guy. And I will tell you that Friday is Crazy Hair Day, and you will want to show up just to see what my hair looks like. Right now, lots of gel. It is smashed down on Friday. And you have no idea how hard this is for me. I will be showing the full extent of the Michael Maher hair on Friday. So it'll be Crazy Hair Day on Friday. That's our Spirit Week. We're having a lot of fun here. And I'll tell you, the bottom line here is it is one of those where the daily dose, make the centerpiece of your day, the masterpiece of your day. And here's what I'm hoping, big picture. You have the daily dose in the middle, and this comes out usually 1 to 1:40. And then you've got 20 minutes of implementation till 2. And then you've got your hour of power, 2 to 3, whatever that looks like for you. Now, I would love to see you. What does that noon to 1 look like? What does that noon to 1 look like? And I will tell you that once you learn to stack these really efficient, productive stuff around the centerpiece of your day, you will start building your time block for the best you. And when the all clear comes, you will already have your day set. You will already have your plan set. What if the all clear was no different than what you're doing now? How beautiful would that be? Working on your business as well as working in it. So without further ado, I have to tell you, listen to this guy. Paul Domenech, AKA Pauly, the Dominator, is a real estate agent, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu world champion. Literally, he could do something right now and knock you out through your screen. Like he didn't even have to touch you. He is an MMA fighter, inspirational speaker, motivational coach, certified referral trainer with Referco, and someone who is used to pushing the limit and beating the odds every single day. After an incredible path of personal and professional pursuits, Pauly was introduced to MMA, which quickly became a passion and led to training with the best on the Emerald Coast. He went on to win multiple Jiu-Jitsu world championships, open world championships, open class, 197 plus weight class. With that same drive to work with the best, Pauly decided to jump into real estate in his 30s after he witnessed a friend get taken advantage of in a transaction. He realized then how many people were probably in the same situation and put his passion into the business of changing lives. And in turn, listen to this, closed 105 transactions in 2019, just his 4th year in the real estate business. Those of you that are newer to the real estate world, I will tell you that 5 to 6 transactions a year is common. 105 is 20x what is typical or average. Certainly not average here. Not to mention 97% of his business comes from repeat and referral. He has built a thriving real estate business, earning a spot on the top 10 producing ERA real estate agent his first year, and received ERA Real Estate International's top customer service award in 2017. When asked about Pauly, ERA American's CEO, Gloria Fraser, said, "Paul represents what is possible for the new generation of leaders. He is both confident and coachable. He understands the fundamentals of exceptional service that separates top performers. And he also understands the always on technology demands of, and one of the best things is, listen, in just his 2nd year of business, Pauly was asked to speak at the ERA IBC, the International Business Conference, for them to teach other realtors about what he was doing. Ask him how it's done. One answer is sure to be proximity is power. We should be inspiring our clients to count on us no matter what. And our clients should be inspiring us to do everything we can for them without any other hesitation. Please welcome to the show, the Daily Dose, our very own Paul Domenech. Welcome, buddy.
Thank you, sir. That was wow.
Yeah.
Great.
Well, it's you know? Yeah. Like it's all truth, man. So, what is the story? I think give us a little bit of a background other than the intro. What is the story you were telling yourself, that you had to overcome? And I mean, we're jumping right into the mindset of a champion, So what is the story you were telling yourself that you had to overcome from the very beginning?
Yeah, the story that I was telling myself was that I wasn't educated enough. Right? I wasn't smart. I had a high school degree. I got C's and D's, and I was just thinking that education was connected to going to school or that college. Mm-hmm. So that was my biggest limiting belief within myself.
And isn't that something that in the world today, or maybe not the world today, but the world 10 years ago, that was what it was all about, right? Go get your college degree to be a success, get a job, and so on and so forth. And man, has the world changed in 10 to 15 years, So, and you've been part of that change, you didn't need the degree. You didn't need that upper education to educate yourself, and how'd you do it? What'd you do?
Well, here's what I did. I kind of thought about where my life is, where it's been, and the experiences that I've had in order to create the habits of success. And I realized that connecting education with just knowledge is not necessarily the equation for success. When you have knowledge, it's only potential power, right? It's not actual power. So when I connected the knowledge with the action, that equaled success. So let's look at somebody that's a lawyer from Harvard. And in a courtroom, absolutely, they are a leader in that function, 100%. But you take that same person that went to school and you put him on the mat in jiu-jitsu with me. Now, who is the leader in the function of what you're doing? So I realized that everything that I did, I had championship results from because I put my all into it. I had passion behind it. I just put everything and took action. And so by taking that action, I come to realize that education is only worth the knowledge that you can actually use. So experience is true education, and you've got to use that. And so that's how I came to overcome that limiting belief that I wasn't smart enough.
Yeah. And here's the thing on this, right? Is success isn't easy. Success is simple. And that's really what we're talking about here is we're going through the acronym of SIMPLE on what determines success and how people can become more successful in today's world. And the S is story, and I will tell you, Shakima yesterday, and then last week, it was change your story, change your life. We've had several people they had to change their story. You had to change your story about you got to go to college to be a success. You had to change your story about knowledge is power. And I heard somebody the other day talk about the G.I. Joe complex, or the G.I. Joe, and G.I. Joe used to always end his show with knowing is half the battle, and the truth is knowing is not half the battle. Knowing is only 1% of the battle. 99% of the battle is execution. And I love that you were talking about how you did it and what you did to conquer it. And it reminds me also of Socrates and Aristotle, who way back, even in the beginning, said, even if you are a street sweeper, be the best possible street sweeper possible. Whatever you have to do it at your best. Like, what does best practices look like? And I have to ask you, I don't want to leave story yet, because your story is so powerful, Pauly, I mean, you were getting your butt kicked in jujitsu in the beginning, you know? So what did you tap into, or what did you do within that realm that made you go, why not quit? Why not quit jujitsu? Why not go into MMA or go into boxing or go into some other realm? You could have done like a lot of people who they did 7 or 8 different disciplines, but never became a world champion in any of them, you know? So what made you, what clicked with jujitsu?
Well, jiu-jitsu is like human chess.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got to constantly be thinking. It's not a one-punch situation. So in the boxing, you know, everybody's got a plan until you get punched in the mouth. That's good old Mike Tyson, right?
That's right.
So in this situation, you're having to position yourself for success. You have to think ahead 5 steps. When you make a mistake, you just can't give up, because if you give up at that point in time, you just get tapped out and you lose. So you'll always be able to find a point where you could stop the progression of whatever bad is going on. Hold on, think for a second, adjust. Don't make the excuse of, I made a mistake, he's got me. Make the adjustment of, okay, I'm in this position. I'm going to stop from getting choked out because I could stop that. Now, how am I going to advance from this point forward, right? So that's the starting point now. It's not starting, you're not always going to start in the best possible position. Hey, look at where we're at right now, right? Mm-hmm. Now's the perfect time to stop whatever you were doing because you had to, and maybe create a new passion or follow your dream. Now, this isn't the perfect time to start that, right? This isn't the perfect position, but right now everything has stopped, and you can, and you have the choice to maybe make that decision to do something that you want to follow yourself, instead of just doing what you have to get by. Do what you love to actually make your dreams come true.
So when did that trigger? You know what I mean? I mean, it's like Pauly, you were living life like everybody, right? We're thinking we're average. We're thinking, like, I grew up from a very poor, you know, I'm thinking, you know, I'm going to be part of the poor class forever. You know, I'm thinking that I'm going to be average, and everybody wants to scratch out average. And we were living an average existence. And then something happened where you realized that I don't have to, like, going to college does not make other people better than me. And guess what? It doesn't matter if they're better than me or not. I'm going to work on myself. Like, was there ever a moment or a place or something that happened to you where it just clicked? Like, you, and a quick story of mine, and I'll go into your, and maybe this will help you, like, construct that moment. Is my junior year in high school, I broke 22 high school passing yards and total yardage records at my high school, which is not saying a ton because we passed more than anybody really did before at the school. But and I loved being the quarterback. I loved football, and I loved the notoriety that came with being the quarterback at the high school. Well, we got a new coach my senior year who ran the wishbone, which is a running offense, not a passing offense, which is what I came from. Well, when I went to fall practice, and you got to realize I'd worked all summer on my passing, I'd worked on conditioning, like everything I was doing was working out to be the high school quarterback as a senior and be the starter. The first 2 weeks of practice, Maher was not the starter. I was sitting there watching the first team offense, my first team offense, run with a different quarterback. And honestly, it was like, I may not be the quarterback because this is a running offense, not a passing offense. And I told my dad, like, I'm quitting. And he goes, how bad do you want it? He goes, okay. That was what really flew. You know, I really thought he was going to talk me into staying out, but he goes, okay. And I was like, what? He goes, yeah. How bad do you want it? How bad do you want to be the starting quarterback on this team? And I thought about it, and like, I thought, I really want to be I really wanted it. Like, I wanted it bad. So I went to practice, and from that moment on, I blew everybody away in every drill. When we ran the lap, we always warmed up a lap. I was 30 yards ahead of everybody when we finished the lap. When we did all of our drills, I did them 100%, and not just 100%. I did them what I thought was 100% before, but I discovered 110%. And I did all the drills 110%. I took the second team offense and we were kicking the first team defense's butt because I was like, no, we're doing this. Let's go, guys. And so I found a gear inside myself that was like, there's more in me. There's more potential in me. And that one moment where I really got pushed on the football field showed me that I had more in me than just 100%. I have 110%. You have more in you than just what you thought was 100%. Your new 100% is 110% of what you thought was 100% before. Yes? Like, did you have a moment in jiu-jitsu, or did you have a moment in your life where you're like, you know, you beat somebody that had a college education, or you just found your element? I don't know.
Yeah. So
this is not a scripted question, by the way.
Yeah. So that was jiu-jitsu, believe it or not. So when I found jiu-jitsu, I lived in Key West, and I lived there for 10 years, and I was a bartender at one of the best bars down there called the Lazy Gecko. And when I started jiu-jitsu, I started realizing that I was fighting or training with cops, lawyers, doctors, because we were all wearing something called a gi. So you could not tell who was what. And so as I'm going through class and I'm doing well and I'm excelling, I'm starting to realize that doesn't matter who you are. And the respect that was coming to me was huge. So that was the moment where I realized that there's more out there than me thinking that, well, you know what, I'm just going to be this bartender and you have to have this education. Here's a whole different realm where they're respecting me, and I didn't even go to school. So I started following that up and then pursuing MMA before it even became a thing. Popular. And then was really getting a lot of respect from different people and businessmen because they were all wanting to be involved with that. And then that's kind of where I started to find some value. And then the way that I actually won was I never went on the mat with the mentality of actually winning. That wasn't the objective. The objective was to be there, to be respected, and to always be remembered by whoever I stepped on that mat with. And that's what led me into how I do everything. If whatever I do, I might not be the best at it, but what I will be is I will be as good as I can be, and I will do such a great job with all of my heart and passion that I will never be forgotten. I will always be an option. That's how it is.
So, but it's not being memorable for being a jerk. It's not being memorable for doing something bad or cheating or getting away with something, right? It's being memorable by being a good participant, for being somebody that is a good sport while also being really good at the sport, you know? And so let's move on to the I, right? And on simple, you've got S's story. The I is for inspiration. So how do you find inspiration?
So I find inspiration in people that have a struggle but don't cry about it and find the meaning, right? And ask not why is this happening to me, but why is this happening? So that really inspires me, because those are the people that take time to stop, look at the situation and smell the roses and say, okay, you know what? This is happening. It doesn't seem like it's great right now, but there's a reason. So how can I grow through this instead of going through this? And those people inspire me. I'm also inspired by my dreams, because my dreams are a vision of the future that my higher power has given me.
There you go.
He gave me the grace for. And then also my faith in knowing that all my struggles are to make me better. He didn't say that he was going to make it easy. He said he would give me the grace to make the choices and put the right things in front of me for me to choose.
Yeah.
And then also my support system, the people that believe in me, the people that love me so much that I need to love myself and ensure that I'm always stepping in the right direction so that I can be whole when giving back to them. Mm-hmm. Because it's very hard when you lead a life where you're either half empty or half full. Because when you're empty, how can you truly give? Yeah. So my support system fills me up with that love, and that's how I drive forward. And that's where I pull all of my inspiration from.
I love that because, many of those times you said people, people who struggle but don't complain, people who are ahead of you, people that you learn from, your support personnel. And here's the thing, like inspire, the word is actually, it means breathe life into. It also means inspira, which means in a spiral. So it's interesting if we combine those two definitions for inspiration, right? Is who or what breathes life into you. That's the inspiration. And those of you that are listening to this right now on the replay, down below in the comments, like what inspires you or who inspires you? Like I want you to put in the comment, I want you to share with us what inspires you or who inspires you. And by that, I mean, who breathes life into you? And this is the whole route to the daily dose. And you're building your top 150 because what you're going to find is your top 150 breathe life into you. They don't take energy from you. They put energy into you, which is the breathing. And by the way, where does that come from? Like respiratory system, spire. Respiratory system is your breathing system, spire. The other thing is in a spiral. So that's the thing about you can be on an upward spiral or a downward spiral. And the upward spiral always starts with learn. The first step is to learn. The second step is to implement. The third step is to fail. That's right. Failing is part of life. And then the fourth step is to evaluate or reflect on what you just learned, implemented, and failed at. So inspire, if you're on this upward spiral of life, you will be inspired naturally. Pauly just talked about his dreams. His dreams inspire him. What is your dream? What is your goal? What is your goal for the end of the daily dose? What is your goal for the end of the quarantine times? What is your goal for the end of the year? Many people have thrown away their goals or their business plan and many, I say many, the truth is nobody had a business plan. So the 2% of the people who had a business plan have adjusted it, but the 98% who didn't have a business plan still don't have a business plan. And I guess it's okay, right?
Are you enjoying the Daily Dose? Want to connect with thousands of other business owners that are winning the referral game while working from home right now? Head over to the Generosity Generation Facebook group. Connect with leaders, visionaries, and business owners from all over the world. Go to www.joingengen.com. That's www.joingengen.com.
Okay. So mindset, how do you stay focused and motivated? So we're on S.I.M.P.L.E, we're on the M, and listen, I did a whole thing on mindset matters. So how do you stay focused and motivated with so many great things going on, and you are building your team and you're going to do over a couple hundred transactions. You're on fire, right?
Yeah. So again, you've hit on a bunch of that stuff when it comes down to mindset. So I ask myself all the time, what am I becoming? What is this action that I'm about to do going to make me become? Because I know for a fact there's two type of people: those that want it and those that want it more, right? And
Yeah.
it's how bad do I want it? That's the question that you have to ask yourself. When you are going through those struggles, you have to ask yourself, how bad do you want it?
Yeah.
You know, my dreams are so big, they scare small minds, but they're designed for that because I have faith. And I have faith in understanding that I need my dreams to be so big, because if you ask, you shall receive. So why are you asking for such small things? Take the handcuffs off of your God and let him work miracles. Your dreams need to be so big that they take the limits off of God. So those are the things that I think back of. And also, when I fall forward. And like Les Brown says, when you fall on your back. Because if you can look up, you can get up.
There you go.
Right? And one more thing that I always tell myself is, I do not tell God my problems. I tell my problems how big my God is, and it makes me drive and keep that positive mindset going 100% at all times, no matter what.
Powerful. What? So that's the mindset, right? And we've talked a lot about mindset, and people are starting to get it. You know, that's what I love about in the Generosity Generation group is I'm now seeing people get it, that they can build their business on love, generosity, and appreciation, and it works. They don't have to manipulate people, overcome objections, and sell. They can serve their way to whatever they want to achieve their goals and their dreams. And so, you know, it goes into the power of who, you know, and so the P, I love the P of simple. It's proximity. So how does proximity filter into success is simple, right? Success is not easy, you know, but success is simple. It's simple. And so what's the P is what?
So the P is proximity. What is in your proximity? Is it exuding excellence and positivity, right? What's the food that's around you right now, right? What's the shows that you're watching? Listen, everybody's watching the Tiger King. I get that, but watch a documentary after that. Let's see what's going on, right? Get out there and exercise.
All right, hold a second. All right. In the comments below, if you have watched any episode of Tiger King, put Tiger King below. And then if you haven't, just put no Tiger King in the comments below if you have not watched Tiger King. So I have not watched Tiger King. I really don't even know what the reference is to. But listen, I mean, here's the thing. If you watch Tiger King, then you got that information from Facebook or some trend that was going on and maybe enjoyed it, right? So it's all good. Entertainment.
Yeah, I didn't actually watch it because I didn't have my Netflix password and I refused to put it in because my email is
might be sucked into
Domenech at ERA. It's like this long. So I was like, I'm not going to do it. And then finally somebody put it in and I watched it. But anyway.
So I love the proximity of the what, right? So you're saying protect your environment. You're saying like right now, my studio is like perfectly, not perfect. It's probably 98% orderly. I have my 7 levels of communication here. I've got my handwritten notes here. I've got the show notes right in front of me. Thank you, my team. I've got the April calendar right here. I have the system that we run before this right here, which is the noon to 1 system. What do we got to do the daily dose prep? And then I have my visual aid, which is my ambassador book right here. So I've controlled my environment. It's like, and when the environment's like that, you know where it's at. You feel mentally sharper because your environment. And I have to tell you, Pauly, I didn't even know you were going to talk about that. I really thought you were going to talk about proximity is power when it comes to people. So I love that you talked about proximity is power as to what is around you as well as who is around you, because in many cases, Pauly, nobody is around a lot of people right now. So it is taking control of the what. And isn't that a beautiful lesson for the quarantine time? Is that what if you just established this habit of like keeping your environment orderly, not perfect, but orderly? What if you had a structure? I literally, it's so funny as I'm sitting here looking, it's very orderly. Like I know, and guess what? If this is orderly, this is orderly. I love that, Pauly. I love that you talked about the proximity of what's near you, as well as the proximity of who is near you.
And that also goes towards understanding this, guys. There's no true balance. So I love to say that I am perfectly imbalanced, because there's things that are going to lag as you change and as you grow. But if you know where your true north is and you could pull yourself back to that spot, it's okay if you're lagging in some area. Just recognize it, know that it's there. So I've got a few areas in my life that I try to make sure that I am hitting on every now and then to create this proximity and balance. And that is my feelings, my family, my fitness, my faith, my fun, my finances, and what I focus on.
Wow.
And those are the things.
Repeat those so people can write them down,
That's
including me.
Your feelings.
And what do we want with feelings? What am I doing with feelings? Is this what I'm just looking around and saying, okay, what is near my feelings? Or tell me, walk me through that.
So your feelings are a fact. They are not a force. So what you can control is how you feel and how you react. The way that you take control of that is in that moment of space between the feeling and the reaction, so that you could sit back and say, why am I feeling this way? Feelings were given to us as a signal to say, hey, something's going on here. Let's check out what we can do here to balance this back out. They're not given to have you react, right? So when you have a feeling of being shy, you don't say anything. But when you have a feeling of being angry, do you lash out? Well, let's make that balance. Take that moment of how you feel when you're being shy before you say something, and put that into place whenever you get to a point where you're angry or you're about to make a decision. Just take 30 seconds. Just count to 30.
Is that I think it's one of those where it's like I have this rating scale in my head almost of 0 to 10, and 0 is I am not in control of my feelings, and a 10 is I am 100% in control of my feelings. Like I'm in control in this moment of my feelings and my response and my reaction, which isn't always the case. You know, like if my son doesn't do something that I told him to do on the baseball field, then my feelings go up and my control of my feelings goes down. And it's like, all right, I need to take a breath, and it's okay. In the scheme of life, you know, it's okay, right? It doesn't mean that there's an overarching problem that he's going to lead an anarchy someday, right? I mean, it's like, you know, just because he was disobedient in 30 seconds doesn't mean he's going to be disobedient for 30 years. So it's like, take a breath, you know? So what were the other of the F words?
So great with feelings. Right after feelings, I'm going to switch it a little bit so that it can go in an order, but focus.
Yeah.
So you want to stay focused and not be distracted by the people around you, your environment, your feelings. You want to stay focused on what your objective is.
Yeah.
What you pray for, what you put out there, what you want, what your dreams are. You have to stay focused on that.
So faith is another one?
Yep.
Which leads into faith, right?
Faith is the other one. So, you know, with faith, it's what are you asking for? make sure that you are walking towards that and walking in that light. Don't tell God about your problems, but tell your problems how big God is, because he has a plan.
And that leads to fitness.
And then fitness, right? So make sure that your fitness and surrounding yourself with motivational things. You know, people that are in your life that are fit, that are doing things that are leading to a positive life. People that want to live till the ripe old age and go paddleboarding or doing whatever, and making sure that you're surrounded by people that have that fitness aspect in life, not the people that are chewing down chili cheese fries, which isn't necessarily a bad thing every once in a while, because that leads into fun.
Yeah.
You still gotta have some fun, right? But have fun that's being productive fun.
I love this, especially it's so fun. It's so fun talking about this. It's so yesterday we had a really good day on the baseball field with my son, Max. And so we did fielding, pitching, and hitting. And what was interesting is we started with just a fun little drill called the hustle drill. And we do it every single time we go out. Every single team I coach, we do something called the hustle drill in the beginning, because it just teaches hustle from the beginning, hustle till the end, right? And just hustle. Well, what's interesting is on yesterday when we did the hustle drill, like, part of this is running to first base as fast as you can. And I'm the pitcher and I act like I'm throwing a pitch and they act like they're hitting and then hustle to first. Well, in the baseball practice yesterday, like I'm getting into some fitness. I'm not perfectly fit, but I'm getting better. And so I decided that when he was running to first, I would try to catch him. Right. So I was running, and guess what? He was running as hard as he could, because you know what? The old man still got some get up and he's only 11. So it was one of those where, so I tried to chase him down to first, and I basically, I think I beat him the first time. And then the second time he knew I was coming, so he beat me. And then the last thing we do in the hustle drill is I pitch it and they hit a double, like over the center fielder, right center, left center, but it's all visualization, you know, so they're going through it. And I act like I'm pitching, and he acted like he hit it. Well, I actually threw a ball, and he didn't have a bat, but he acted like he hit it to the right center gap. And so I took the ball from home plate and I ran and I tagged him out right before he got to second base. So of course I cut the corner, right? I ran from home plate to second while he had to run first and second. But what was cool is that because I was more fit and I did something that was more fitness oriented, instead of just standing there, I think that had a big part in baseball was more fun yesterday for all of us. And so fitness and fun, I think, really do go hand in hand with your F's. And then your last two that you really talked about were finances and family.
Well, family would come in after fitness and fun, right?
Yeah,
because that's what you can do with your family. You want everybody to be healthy. You want to have fun doing it, while at the same time, feelings, focus on all that. And when you're doing all of that, you are also focusing on your finances. What's helping you grow with your family and what you have going on, with or without your family. Listen, your family is your proximity and the people around you. That's what you want to count your family as. How are you helping the people in your immediate circle grow?
Love it. Love it. Dude, and that was just on proximity, right? And we've got L and E in S.I.M.P.L.E. Within S.I.M.P.L.E, you gave us 7 F's under proximity. So like the amount of giving massive value first here is massive value. So lead. And I love that lead is part of S.I.M.P.L.E, and part of success is leading. That doesn't mean you need to lead a 10,000 person group. It doesn't mean just leading your family is being a leader, but being a leader. So how did you become a leader, and do you find it difficult to lead your group, to lead your people?
So really, I became a leader from just doing the actions. So there's two types of leaders, right? There's a leader that's appointed and a leader that inspires. And I am an inspirational type of leader. I will never ask somebody to do something that I will not do myself.
Exactly.
So what I create in my standards is a clarity that I am going to do this and I can do it. A certainty that it can be done by setting the example, and then the confidence in doing it, and then giving my team the opportunity to do it as well. But me there holding their hand, pulling them up, whatever the case may be, always, and never ever sitting on anybody's sun, because you can't shine that way.
That's right.
And so by doing that, that has led me to become a leader, which now I don't have followers, but I have
Yes, you do.
confidants. Like
you have followers. I'm a fan.
People that I love.
Yeah.
People that I love. People that love me, that are my equals.
Yeah. You have fans, like lots of fans, and they're growing. And Pauly, you're just scratching the surface on the number of fans that are following you. And I am one of those, and I am definitely one of your biggest fans. And I think it's one of those where the mindset of a leader, there's the only difference between just somebody that's not a leader and a leader. A leader is willing to perhaps sacrifice what's in their best interest for what's in the best interest of a group. So when you have a family, you are thinking in terms of what's in the best interest of the family versus what's in the best interest for myself. Leadership is truly the first and finest form of unselfishness, in my opinion. But what's interesting about being a leader is that when you decide to, all right, I'm going to put what's in the best interest of the group over what's in the best interest for me, what's always amazing to me is how often it becomes in the best interest of the leader when the group does well or the group achieves their interest. So I will tell you that's what you depict beautifully in this. And let's go right to the E. You know, I'm hearing a lot of like change your story, mindset, inspiration, mindset. M is mindset. Proximity is orderness, and kind of like, it's almost like getting ready is this proximity, like get ready with the people around you, get ready with the stuff around you. Lead is, all right, it's almost like mindset and thinking of what's in the best interest for the group versus what's in the best interest for me. And then, so it's like, I feel like almost like a car revving at the starting line of a NASCAR race or a road race. Like, you know what I mean? So what's the E, Pauly? What's the E in simple?
E in simple is just execute.
Do it now.
Do it. Do it now.
Do it.
Do it now. Do it now.
Right.
Listen,
do it now.
Here's the thing, right? When something comes up, the more success comes from when you actually take action right at that point.
Hit the accelerator.
You have about 3 seconds, 5 seconds at most, and you will talk yourself out of doing whatever it is that you do not want to do. And here's an example. Waking up in the morning at 4:30 when that alarm goes off and you want to hit snooze. You know what? You told yourself what you were going to do last night. You told the alarm goes off, you wake up, now you're telling yourself all kinds of things.
Oh,
See,
yeah.
there was a point, one moment in time where you said, oh, that's my alarm. What's the next thought that you're going to think? That is going to dictate your day.
Yeah.
Which is, oh, I can, what are these? No, stop. And right there, stop. Do it now. So with the execution also, you have to have a map. And this is the thing, guys. You've got to have a map. You've got to be prepared. If you're prepared, then you can find out where you're at on that map and you can execute. But until you make that map and you find out where you're at on that map, this is going to be extremely difficult. But this is what the 7 levels of communication is. It's a map. It's there. All you have to do is execute. Listen, nobody's going to hold you, take accountability, or be your accountability partner. That is you. You are your own accountability partner with success. Success will be that partner, but you've got to do it now. And so I remove words from my vocabulary like quit, cannot, failure, impossible, unable, out of the question, hopelessness, and retreat. Those are completely out of my vocabulary. And if there is a 1% chance that it can happen, it is a 100% chance, because I will not give up. I will die. And if I die, I will be in a better place, because it's going to be with the Lord. So I will not stop. I will do everything I can to be successful. And it is simple. Change your story. Inspire people. Make sure you have the right mindset. Surround yourself with the proximity and the right people. Be a leader and give and just execute. This is how simple it is. It will not be easy, but I guarantee you, you will find success.
Woo! Preach, brother. That, my friends, is Pauly, the Dominator Domenech out of Destin, Florida. He may be in real estate, but I'll tell you what, this guy is in the 6-inch real estate between ear to ear. That's the real estate that he owns. That's the real estate that he took ownership of himself. That's the ownership that he has taken in other people. Is this guy has got his mind on right, and he is helping others. You know, what's funny is we talk about, don't do the easy thing, do the right thing. And sometimes that's a difficult decision, is we can do what's easy or we can do what's right. And I will tell you, you've taken that to the next level, which is don't just do the, easy thing or the right thing, but do what's simple. Like, what is simple? And simple is the answer. Success is not easy, but success is simple. Follow the plan, story, inspiration, mindset, proximity, lead, execute. Pauly, holy smokes. If this is not a daily dose of positivity and productivity for people, that's on them. That's their fault. This has been delivered and over-delivered, and it has been delivered to your computer today. And people, I will tell you, Pauly, thank you so much for being a guest on the Daily Dose. You rock, man.
Yeah, so I have a system. There is no secret to my success. There is a system. There's a system that I have. There's a system that I put in place for real estate that we will be rolling out for people to gain success and have the success that I've had within the 4 years. This isn't an accountability thing. This isn't something that I'm going to tell you to make phone calls. This is going to be an actionable items that you can do with 36 strategies that I've created that will have the collateral for you to actually take, put it in, and execute, and just do it. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy, but it will be simple, guys. I got that rolling out, and Michael's going to help me make that happen, and I look forward to just creating massive success in everybody's life. And if I could generate a little bit of motivation to have you guys hop onto the strategy to change your life, then I've done my job. And I thank you so much for having me here. I love you all. Thank you so much for watching us. And what Michael is delivering is something that we all need. And I'm grateful for you, Michael. And thank you very much.
Wow. Well, thank you. And I will tell you, all listeners, everybody who's viewing or seeing this or listening to it, thank you so much for being our guest on the Daily Dose. Remember, your action items for this week is to share this message with everyone you know. When he comes out with his strategy and his system, we will definitely make sure that you are the first to know. Remember, by the end of this week, top 100, 25 VIP forms filled out. And I want to remind you that tomorrow we have Tony and Jen Scarparo who are going to talk about the ultimate morning ritual. And then on Friday, we have the multimillionaire, the energy mindset guru. I will tell you, one of the guys that I call on, I would almost call him my coach, Tim Brahim, on Friday. And I will tell you that, listen, make the centerpiece of your day, the masterpiece of your day. And I appreciate all of you for being on this episode of the Daily Dose of positivity and productivity, which is brought to you by referralspodcast.com and the Generosity Generation. If you liked today, do us a favor and please rate the podcast at iTunes or Google Stitcher, whatever you want to be. But the bottom line is we love you, and we're going to get through this together. We're all in this together. Pauly, once again, thank you for being our guest on the Daily Dose.
Thank you, Michael.